Wassel, it's Jay from ARIYA here. So today's video is going to be a bit specific because what we are going to talk about only affects people on a certain level of their spiritual development. But I decided to film this video because many of my students ask me about this phenomenon, and that is the magnetic bond. It is really important to know about it because not knowing can actually seriously mess up your life, and I've seen that happening around. So what is the magnetic bond? Now, if you've been doing spiritual development for a while, you might have come across not the term perhaps, but the feeling of it. It is when you suddenly feel attracted, and sometimes really strongly attracted. Like sometimes it can get ridiculous. You get attracted to another person you maybe just met, and when you analyze your feelings, to your surprise, you realize that it's not a physical attraction, and that instantly breaks the human paradigm because, as you probably know, the typical human paradigm is that if you are attracted to someone, it means that you are attracted to them sexually. And so being attracted to someone and not wanting anything from them can confuse the mind quite a lot, because it's like, what's going on with me? And that feeling, it's not actually a feeling, it's a sensation. It's called the magnetic bond. And as I said, at its core, it's not a human feeling. It's not one of those feelings that we have, like love to someone else, or friendship, or distaste, or fear, or any other feeling. That is just a sensation generated by your true essence. And it comes from the principle that the light within me recognizes the light within you. And this is how this magnetic bond is created. If you analyze, if you look deeply into yourself and meditate on it, you will notice that it feels just magnetic. It feels like a force of some kind rather than emotion. But as I said, because many people confuse it with physical attraction, and well, obviously they don't know any better, so it's quite understandable, and they confuse it with the physical attraction, then tell their mind that they are attracted physically to that person, and from that it usually all goes downhill. Because there is one important thing that I want you to remember: the magnetic bond is not a feeling, and it's not a basis for creating a relationship. Well, obviously you can try, but it's not sufficient. It does not mean that you're in love with that person or that they are in love with you. It simply means that you are both on the same path of self-development, and that the light, the awareness within you is gradually getting stronger. Now, the magnetic bond always attracts, and it always affects both parties. So you can feel it and the other person can feel it as well. But the degree to which they feel it will differ. Because what it is, it depends on just how self-developed you are and how much light you have within yourself, how much light you are transmuting into this world. So the more light you generate, or someone else, the stronger will be the magnetic bond that they generate as well. It is the same like in the universe. The bigger the body, the celestial body, the stronger is the force of gravity that surrounds it. So the magnetic bond is some sort of gravity that those people generate around them. So because it's a force and not a feeling, if someone starts believing that because they're attracted to someone, they're in love with that person, then that magnetic bond will still exist, but the mind will start believing something else. And the mind will start then generate all the chemicals, and the brain will generate all the chemicals in your body as though you were in love. And you will try and perhaps enter a relationship with that person. But because the magnetic bond is not a feeling, that will not last. And that will usually fall apart and cause a lot of pain to both you and that other person, because at some point you will discover that it's wrong. And perhaps you did have such an experience in the past where you were strongly attracted to someone. You were so similar to that person in so many ways. And it can be ridiculous. It can be so ridiculously close. And you thought, okay, this person is probably my soulmate. And you got together, and after a while, you've noticed that although it's nice to be in their presence and you're enjoying their company, suddenly something is not there. And it hasn't been there to begin with, but with time it becomes more and more noticeable. So towards the end, you don't even feel any physical attraction anymore, and the relationship falls apart because you just feel that it's not right to be with that person, that there is someone somewhere waiting for you still, and that you two are not supposed to be together. So perhaps you have experienced that. That means that you have fallen for the magnetic bond and you've mistaken it for the actual love. Now, how is it different from an actual physical attraction? Well, the magnetic bond works on the subliminal level. And so you may not even know that person at all. So you've just met them, you've exchanged a few phrases, and suddenly feel strongly attracted to that person for no reason whatsoever. And it doesn't matter what they look like, it doesn't matter what they believe in, it doesn't matter what they're interested in, because this is essentially just like the force of gravity. It is a force of one source of light being attracted to another source of light. And it has nothing to do with the human world and the human life. It has to do with the actual truth of who you are. It has to do with your true essence. And the physical attraction develops between people who, let's say you meet someone and she or he is your type, and you discover that your beliefs match and your interests match, and then you spend some time together and you develop that chemistry, and it goes in a different direction from the simply magnetic attraction that is the magnetic bond. So the next time you meet someone who is a star or perhaps a sleeping star, but they still radiate that light, and you become attracted to that light, just accept it for what it is, because at its core, the magnetic bond is a wonderful phenomenon. It's really healing and it's really empowering for both you and that other person. And by the way, it's not limited to just one person. It can develop within a group or even a larger group and just hold it together like a constellation. And so if you don't fight it, and if you just accept it for what it is and enjoy it and make the most of it, then it can become a very healing power and it can help you develop faster. But the problem only appears if you mistake it for something else, if you believe that it's a human feeling. And so the next time you come across it, just welcome it for what it is and enjoy it. I hope this video brought you some clarity, and if you have any questions, just type them in the comments below. I always read and reply personally. This was Jay from ARIYA. Thank you for watching, subscribe to my channel, and see you next time.